Perfection is unattainable. No matter how hard we try, how much time we sink in, a barrier out of our control will limit us. No matter how much time we sink in, we will always delude ourselves and rashly pursue perfection, thinking it's our own limitations that are hindering us, while not realizing that this is but a mere illusion that we are immersing ourselves in. According to the American Psychological Association, perfectionism is a tendency to demand of oneself or others an extremely high or even flawless performance above what is required by the situation. Considering perfectionism's trace is necessary to understand, cope, and employ these skills in our lives. However, if not in moderation, perfectionist traits can be paralyzing. They can, instead of boosting our progress and acting as healthy motivators, turn into this sort of trap. A trap that will never let us understand how we can be accepting of ourselves. Perfectionism is often mistaken as a form of a symptom, not a form of anxiety. Often we misconceive it as the desire to do one's best in all circumstances and be the best we can be, no matter what we do. But that's not feasible. It can often manifest as the following: intense frustration and or disappointment, falling short of expectations, setting unrealistic goals, maintaining 100% in all academic classes, or some might relate to this even more, being the best at your job, being able to answer everybody's questions, have 100% in the way you communicate, you name it. It's also when you believe that you must remain perfect, and that makes you fearful about others' criticism, and you're again immersed in these invisible expectations that you yourself employed. And accepting only perfection, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you tried, anything else is failure. And you fear this failure. You take days, weeks, months, maybe even years to get over an event. I know for myself, I often reflect on every conversation I had in the day, every interaction, every mistake I made. And instead of understanding that I'm only human and I'm allowed to make these mistakes, I think to myself that what's the point of even trying if I'm destined to fail? And that leads to procrastination and immobilizing worry that leaves you with nothing but dread. However, most of these limitations are drawn out by a toxic achievement culture that is slowly becoming more absorbed in our society, especially seen through social media. We look at influencers and we look at posts made by other classmates, acquaintances, friends, family members, and it makes us think, oh, they're perfect. We perceive things through their lens, and we don't understand that it's merely an illusion that they've set for our view. In the last few years, perfectionism has also increased by 25 to 30% in children and mainly adolescents, and is now impacting how they're developing. Many factors in adolescence and teenagehood carry on through your young adult years and even can stay up until adulthood or even until you're no longer here. A lot of these are often exacerbated by parental expectations, whether they truly exist or not. They're also brought on and evoked by natural factors such as your gender, your ethnicity, and your age. It can also be part of just natural growing up. It can be whether you're applying for a job, university, college, anything in general. Precisely from 1989 to 2016, perfectionism in its various forms has increased in college students as well, with a 10% increase in self-oriented perfectionism, 32% in socially prescribed perfectionism, and a 16% increase in other-oriented perfectionism. Self-oriented perfectionism is the expectations you set for yourselves. These are your own barriers that you must surpass. Other-oriented perfectionism can be seen in your parents, for example. This is when you demand perfection from everybody else around you. And if they aren't doing their best, you feel anxious on their behalf, and in turn, become a toxic individual who's only emphasizing how imperfect someone else is without considering their efforts and strengths. And most importantly, social prescribed perfectionism. This is all the invisible expectations of society in general. This can be in interactions, in the way you communicate, pretty much whatever you do in general. So, how do you overcome perfectionism? Shift in perspective. Rather than seeing what you weren't able to accomplish, understand that there's also a duality in this, which is you can understand that the other 80 or whatever percent of effort you put into your work can be translated into other factors in your life. And even if you can't have perfection, that's alright. Nothing's going to change. You still tried your best, and that's all that matters. You can also receive guidance from a professional, such as like a therapist, psychiatrist, or even informal help from friends, family, acquaintances. They can help you break these toxic standards that you're setting for yourself. And finally, you can reframe your thoughts. You can understand that it's okay to fail or even perceive failure. It's okay to want to be perfect. It's okay to remain imperfect. It's okay to be yourself. Shift for perfection means to you. Thank you.